Hello, good morning. This is 𝗟𝗘𝗧 from Massmailer. Thank you so much for joining the webinar today. Today I'm going to talk about a few changes that we made in the bot event settings. First of all, what is a bot event? I just want to kind of give an overview before I get into further details here. If you've been using Massmailer or maybe any other email marketing product, you must have noticed some fake clicks and fake opens and fake unsubscribes, which is quite common in the industry nowadays, just because the email security is getting tighter and tighter always. And the spam filter softwares are trying to scan through the inbound emails, and they would auto open, auto click, and auto unsubscribe, and make sure email content does not have any, unintentional links or content that is not, safe for the recipients to receive and read. So that's the reason why you may end up seeing the fake email events such as open, click, and unsubscribe or group unsubscribe. And that may actually give you wrong statistics than what you expect, meaning, the opens could be more than what you expect, and the clicks could be more than what you expect, and same thing may happen with the unsubscribes and group unsubscribes as well, which is quite common problem that we noticed in the industry. And Massmailer did come up with a solution that is pretty much automated, and sometimes you may have to do a little bit of a manual effort as well. I would talk about both the things here. So if this is what the spam filter softwares are trying to do to your emails, what is that you could do in Massmailer? So the feature that I'm explaining is actually in 2.50 version. If you are not on 2.50, we kindly request you to upgrade. And it is a stable version now. So if you need any help or questions, just send us an email at support@massmailer.io. We are happy to provide you the release notes and upgrade instructions for the same. So again, talking about the specific features what Massmailer implemented, we have two things that we implemented here. One is auto detecting these bot events by adding a hidden URL in the email template that you're using. So there's a small little setup that you have to do. Again, I'll just go through that quickly. If you ever noticed in Massmailer Setup, tracking settings, there's a section called bot event settings. If you don't see it, just go on and upgrade and you would see this. You would have to enable this feature. And also you will have to enable auto insertion of the hidden URL in the outgoing emails. You will have ability to update the hidden URL. I'll show that to you in a moment, and a couple of other things. So basically, you would have to enable this feature so that Massmailer would be able to auto detect such bot events. The way we do it is, again, if you add a hidden URL, which is not shown to the end users because it's hidden, but it is still a link for the bot softwares or the spam filter softwares. When they are scanning through the emails, and if they are clicking on all the links, they will also end up clicking this hidden URL. Any human will not be able to click on this link. Only bots can click, which means we can safely identify any other events happening at the same time as the bot events. And that's how we kind of look at, okay, if the hidden URL click event happens, then we also look at the other events approximately at the same time within some time duration. We also would just go auto delete or auto purge the respective bot events that happen at the same time. That purge setting is also automatic. So that happens every day, even though we are trying to make it every 15 minutes, so that it's going to be quicker. Currently, we auto delete the bot events every single day, midnight. And if you ever sense that there are still the bot events that have not been deleted for whatever reason, it could be because you have old data before we implemented this, or maybe some of the bot events are happening within the time frame or beyond the time frame what the bot event settings are set in Massmailer. So I'll show that to you in a moment so that it's kind of clear. So the screens here. So this is how it looks, the bot event settings in Massmailer. So you can see that you can enable the bot purge or bot event purge feature, and also you can auto insert the tracking URL. And by default, we are given the tracking URL MMPN page that's on Massmailer website. It's safe to add this, but if you want to create something on your own, feel free to do that. Whatever the URL that you're giving should exist. The page should exist. So that's mandatory. And you don't want to give something like a contact page, anything like that. When you're giving the URL, make sure that that's just meant for only bot event tracking purposes. That way, when you're reporting back, you will be able to identify that particular URL easily. And then, so we have another setting called bot purge event in seconds. All it means that up to 180 seconds, again, this can be changed. We would go ahead and delete any events that occur, right after the delivered event. So whenever we get a delivered event, of course, the recipient email server is receiving the email, even though it may not be hitting the recipient inbox, we will still receive the delivered event. That's why we request you not to suppress the delivered event. This is the only way we can actually identify the bot purge events. So when you get the delivered event, and from there, within 180 seconds, that is 3 minutes, if at all we find any bot events, we actually go delete such events. And again, I explained how we identify the bot events just before. So that is the bot event settings. This is all taken care behind the scenes. You don't have to do anything, provided you set up this in your Salesforce Massmailer setup page. You're good to go. But any of the events that are, that are missed out, or maybe you have some old bot events, we still have a way to delete those, but that has to be done manually. You can go to the tools section, manual purge, and you would find a purge bot events section, in which you can just enter the duration, the from date and the to date. And again, what events you want to delete, the open, click, open, subscribe, and unsubscribe. And again, duration from the delivered event, how far you want to go from the delivered event. By default, we go up to 180. That's what we have noticed most of the customers. You cannot decrease that value. It's up to 3 minutes. And then you can always go up to 5 minutes, which is 300 seconds. So you just have to select the from and to dates and the other two settings, and then start purge. That will actually manually purge any bot events that you may have. You can only do 1 month at a time, so there's no way we can go beyond that just because of Salesforce restrictions. And again, feel free to try this and manually delete any bot events that you think may be there in your system. And then just to show you in Salesforce, so if you go to Massmailer Setup page under tracking settings, bot event settings, make sure that this is enabled and this is also enabled. By default, we have MMPN page added from Massmailer. Feel free to change this to any other URL if you wanted. And then the settings, again, 180 is the default. You can go up to 5 minutes, which is 300 seconds, and then save it. Make sure you save this. So this is just for the auto purge and auto insertion of the tracking URL for the bot events. And then if you ever wanted to delete those bot events manually, again, you go to Tools, Manual Purge, and then here at the bottom of the page, you can see Purge bot events. Again, you need to give the date, from date and to date, and what events are those, and the time duration, and then click on the Start Purge. That will basically start purging the bot events that you have in your system. So anything you missed out for any reason, or if you have the old data, so this would be very helpful. The manual purge section is also very helpful. So that's pretty much it. Any questions? Feel free to ask me right now. Okay. Seems like okay, there's one question there. So where can we see the version you have? So again, depending on what version you are in, if you are on 2.50, you will be able to see that version when you go to Massmailer Setup, usage subscription. So there's and if you want to refresh this, you can. There's a tiny section here that will show you the Massmailer version. Again, if you're on 2.50 only, then you can actually see this the version. If not, you would have to go to the Salesforce setup, and then you got to go to the installed packages. That's a quick find section that you have. So click on that installed packages, and you'll be able to find Massmailer as one of the apps that's installed. And you can see the version number there. Make sure that you have 2.50. And again, if you don't have 2.50, the easiest way is always go to Massmailer upgrade page, but we have release notes. So if you go to support Massmailer, go to our support homepage. You just have to type in support.massmailer.io. You don't need to type in the rest of it. So if you just go here, you can do browser search, release notes, and then just click on this, the latest one, and then you will be able to find the 2.5 version release notes. Just click on that, and it's very easy to just go through and upgrade. It's very simple. You got to follow the instructions here. Step 1, install the app. Make sure that you click on the finish button once it has been upgraded. Once you see that the app is being installed successfully, then you just have to go to the finish button and then click on that finish. So that's pretty much it, the upgrade. And again, there's a video on what all features are enabled and some notes here as well, all the new features that are added. Again, this is quite stable version, so you should be fine. Any other questions about upgrade, please feel free to raise a support ticket to us. You can just click on this link and there's a support ticket, or send an email to support@massmailer.io. Any further questions? All right. I think that's all what we have as questions. So once again, this is a weekly webinar, and I try to be regular as long as I'm available. Here is my contact information and the company information. If at all you have any further questions, feel free to reach me or the company email, or just send us an email. And this webinar happens every Thursday at 6 a.m. Hawaii time. Feel free to check us out, or check our website for the next week's webinar. I think it's going to be week after next, actually. And if you're on our social channels, you will receive, again, this message on our social channels. If you are part of our email distribution list, you will also receive an email And after this webinar, you will also receive a recording for this. So once again, thank you so much for joining the webinar today. Have a great day. Have a great evening.